Do you ever feel fragile, like a piece of glass in a world of stone? Like the slightest push, the smallest unexpected gust of wind could send you tumbling down. You follow the rules, you do what you're told, you tick all the right boxes. But a deep, quiet part of you feels utterly powerless. Now, I want you to imagine two men. One, a German philosopher with a magnificent, wild mustache. A man driven to the very brink of madness by the sheer intensity of his own thoughts. The other, a Japanese swordsman. A phantom of a man who never lost a single one of his 60 duels, living a life of brutal, Spartan simplicity. What could these two men, Friedrich Nietzsche and Miyamoto Musashi, separated by centuries, by culture, by everything, possibly have in common? And more importantly, what can they teach you about becoming unbreakable? They shared a secret, a hidden thread connecting their seemingly opposite lives, a warrior's philosophy for the mind. Today, we're not just going to talk about them. We are going to distill their entire life's work into 7 brutal, actionable rules that will help you forge an unbreakable will in a modern world that practically begs you to be weak. First, let's properly meet our guides. On one side, we have Friedrich Nietzsche, the infamous philosopher who declared God is dead and put 2,000 years of Western morality on trial for its crimes against human potential. He wasn't just a quiet academic, he was a fighter. His battlefield was the human soul, and his sworn enemy was mediocrity. His weapon of choice wasn't steel, but an idea. The idea of the Übermensch, or the overman. This is not a superhero. It is a state of being. A person who wages war on their own weaknesses, who overcomes themselves, rejects the comfortable prison of herd mentality, and dares to create their own meaning in a seemingly meaningless universe. A terrifying, yet deeply liberating concept. Then there's Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary kensei or sword saint. He walked Japan as a ronin, a masterless samurai. He fought over 60 duels and won every single one. But his true legacy isn't the number of victories, it's the way. In his final years, he retreated to a cave and wrote the Book of 5 Rings, a masterpiece not just on sword fighting, but on strategy, discipline, and the psychology of absolute victory. Their worlds were different, but their path was the same, the path of the warrior. Rule number 1, embrace solitude as your forge. The modern world screams at you to connect, to share, to be seen, to be liked. But these masters knew that true strength is not found in the crowd. It is built in the silence. It is built alone. Nietzsche retreated to the Swiss Alps, walking for hours a day in complete and total solitude. It was there, alone with the mountains, that his most powerful ideas were born. He said you must be able to bear the wilderness within. Musashi spent decades as a ronin, a ghost wandering from town to town. His only constant companion was his sword. This crushing isolation sharpened his senses, his discipline, his spirit. He learned to rely on nothing and no one but himself. You say you want to find your purpose, but you're constantly drowning in the noise and opinions of others. So what's the practical step? Start small, but start now. Schedule 1 hour of absolute, unbreachable solitude this week. Find a time, put it in your calendar, and treat it like the most important meeting you have. No phone, no music, no books, no podcasts. Just you and the stark reality of your own thoughts. It will be brutally uncomfortable at first, I promise you. But then, it will become your greatest weapon. Rule number 2, master one thing utterly. We are told to be well-rounded, to collect hobbies, to be a jack of all trades. This is a recipe for mediocrity. The warrior's path is different. It is the path of singular, focused mastery. For Musashi, it was the sword. He didn't just practice, he obsessed. He deconstructed every movement, every strategy, every breath. His entire life was a singular, relentless pursuit of perfecting his craft. He said, know the way broadly, but see it in one thing. For Nietzsche, it was philosophy and language. He wielded words like scalpels, dissecting culture and morality with terrifying precision. This depth, this singular, obsessive focus, is what gave his ideas their earth-shattering power. You feel like you're spread too thin, a millimeter of progress in a million directions, making no real impact anywhere. You are a jack of all trades and therefore a master of none. The warrior's path demands you choose your sword. Pick one skill, one craft, one area of your life that matters, and go deeper than anyone else is willing to go. Obsess over it. Let the world have its fleeting hobbies. You will have mastery. Rule number 3, live dangerously. This is perhaps Nietzsche's most famous and most misunderstood command. It is not a call for reckless self-destruction. It is a command to reject the cult of comfort, to stop seeking safety above all else. He wrote, for believe me, the secret to reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. Build your cities on the slopes of Vesuvius. Send your ships into uncharted seas. Musashi lived this principle with every breath he took. Every duel was a literal dance with death. But he never backed down from a challenge. He understood that real growth is only found at the very edge of your abilities. You don't grow in the safe harbor. You grow in the heart of the storm. Let's be honest. Your fear of failure is keeping you in a small, comfortable cage of your own making. You avoid the hard conversations, the ambitious projects, the bold moves that could change everything. It's time to stop. You must learn to see that feeling of fear not as a stop sign, but as a compass. That knot in your stomach, that quickening of your pulse, that feeling of danger is pointing you exactly where you need to go for growth. Rule number 4, destroy your inner enemy. Before you can conquer any challenge in the world, you must first conquer the battlefield within your own mind. This is the central truth of the warrior's path. Musashi was crystal clear on this. The ultimate aim of martial arts is not having to use them. The true victory is victory over your own spirit, over your anger, your fear, your ego, to achieve a state of immovable calm, even in the center of a hurricane. Nietzsche called this self-overcoming. He saw humanity as a rope, not a destination. A rope stretched between the animal and the Übermensch. Every single day, you must fight the parts of you that are weak, lazy, and compliant. You must become your own ruthless master. You set goals, you make plans, but your own procrastination and corrosive self-doubt always sabotage you from within. You know deep down that you are your own worst enemy. If that's the case, then you must declare war, a total war. Identify that whining voice of weakness inside you, Give it a name if you have to, and systematically refuse its counsel. Your discipline is your army. Your daily habits are your soldiers. Use them. Rule number 5. Love your fate. This is Nietzsche's concept of amor fati. It is one of the most powerful and most difficult mindsets you can ever adopt. It doesn't mean simply accepting what happens to you. It means loving it, actively willing it, to want nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. To see every single setback, every pain, every struggle as a necessary and even beautiful part of your story. The obstacle isn't in the way. The obstacle asterisk is the way. Musashi embodied this. His life was harsh, violent, and profoundly lonely, but he never complained or wished for another path. He wrote that you should not regret what you have done. He owned every step, every scar. His past was the bedrock of his strength, not a weight holding him back. You resent your past mistakes, replaying them over and over. You're terrified of future hardships, trying to avoid any and all pain. Your life feels like a series of unfortunate events you just have to endure. This mindset makes you fragile. To become unbreakable, you must reframe your entire reality. Stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and instead ask, "How can this suffering serve me? What strength is this obstacle forging in me?" Learn to say yes to it all, the good, the bad, and the brutal. Rule number 6, become a lifelong student. The moment you believe you are a master, your growth dies. The true warrior understands that the way has no final destination. There is always more to learn, to refine, to understand. Musashi, even after becoming the most revered swordsman in Japan, remained a humble student. He studied calligraphy, painting, and strategy from other schools. He knew that the principles of mastery in one art could illuminate the path in all others. His mind was never, ever closed. Nietzsche was a professor of philology, the study of language. He was a ravenous consumer of knowledge, from ancient Greek texts to contemporary science. His philosophy was a living, breathing thing that evolved until the very day he died. He never arrived at a final, comfortable answer. He was always on the quest. You got your degree, you landed the job, and now you feel stagnant. You think learning is a phase of life that you completed. The warrior knows this is a fatal error. The world is your dojo, and life itself is the curriculum. So read books completely outside your field. Seek out and listen to people who passionately disagree with you. Pick up a new, difficult skill. Never, ever allow yourself to stop being a humble beginner at something. And finally, the ultimate rule. Rule number 7, create your own values. This is the peak of the mountain. Society will hand you a pre-packaged set of morals, goals, and definitions of success. The warrior looks at this menu and throws it away. The warrior forges his own code. This is the very heart of Nietzsche's Übermensch. The overman doesn't ask, "Is this good or evil according to the herd?" He asks, "Does this affirm my life? Does this serve my will to power?" He becomes his own sun, his own source of light and value. Musashi did the same. In an age of rigid samurai codes like Bushido, he was a radical iconoclast. He fought with 2 swords when one was the norm. He showed up late to duels to disrupt his opponent's minds. He was unconventional, unpredictable and devastatingly effective, because he followed his own strategic principles, not someone else's rule book. You're living a life that someone else designed for you, following a script you didn't write, chasing goals you didn't choose, and you feel profoundly empty. Then you must use the strength you've been building. Sit down in the solitude you've cultivated and ask the hardest questions of all. Without the influence of parents or society or social media, what do I truly value? What does a meaningful life actually look like to me? And then, you must find the terrifying courage to live that answer. 7 rules. Embrace solitude as your forge. Master one thing utterly. Live dangerously. Destroy your inner enemy. Love your fate. Be a lifelong student. And create your own values. This is the shared path of the philosopher and the swordsman. So understand, this isn't some feel-good, motivational self-help list. It's a battle plan for your mind. It is a practical guide to transforming yourself from a passive observer of your life into an active, powerful creator of your destiny. This is a philosophy forged in the lonely mountains of Switzerland, tested in life-or-death duels on the plains of Japan, and proven over centuries. The goal is not to become Nietzsche. It is not to become Musashi. The goal is to become more fully and more powerfully yourself than you ever thought possible. The goal is to become formidable. So the next time you feel the world pushing you around, the next time you feel that old, familiar sense of being fragile, stop and ask yourself one simple question: what would a warrior do? Because the answer is no longer a mystery. You now have the blueprint to build one.